If you want a strategy that will rob bases out of millions of loot at Town Hall 7, then stay tuned because that's what we're covering today. Yo, what's up guys, it's Jsmith here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're talking about a really fun to use farming strategy, Goblin Giant, or better known as Goblin Knife. As you can see, it's primarily made up of giants and goblins with 2 heals and a rage. You do not need clan castle troops for this attack strategy, but if you are to get some, I'd prefer either wizards or giants in the clan castle. So, as you can see from my battle log, I've been doing pretty well with this attack strategy. It's not always going to be 3 stars because of just the nature of the comp, but you're going to be getting pretty good loot across the board. So the plan for today is we're going to be showing 2 replays, one with clan castle troops, one without, and then live attacks for the rest of the video. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. When doing this attack strategy, there's 2 main defenses that you want to be wary of. That is the wizard tower and the mortar tower. These 2 buildings are just really good at doing a massive amount of splash damage to your giants and goblins, so you want to try to take them out or keep them occupied as soon as possible. Ideally, when attacking, I try to take out either 2 mortar towers or 2 wizard towers early on. So in this case, I am going to attack from the bottom because I can get 2 wizard towers as well as a mortar in the bottom. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is place down my giants to go ahead and tank up the defenses and then wall break them in. And then as soon as they are inside the base, I'm going to go ahead and put down the wizard towers just to go ahead and create a funnel for my king and some additional wizards to go inside the base. You only have 8 wizards, guys, so you want to make sure you use them sparingly and have a plan when you're using them. I'm not going to go ahead and drop my goblins down yet, just because you want to take out the first wave of defenses to have the base a little bit weaker. You want to make sure when doing this attack that you do use your wall breakers more or less kind of early on and open up the compartments, because you want your giants to spend as little time as possible on the walls. You want them to be taking out defenses and just tanking the mortars in the time being. So as you can see, I'm starting to put down some of the goblins in spurts. I'm doing that because I don't want to place down all the goblins at once and just have them hit a giant bomb. So you want to put them in spurts. And so I just now put down my clan castle troops. I had a feeling that I wouldn't be able to push through the entirety of this base without them. So I went ahead, put them down, and they're going to help me take out the rest of this base. So still doing the same thing, just putting down the goblins in spurts. Could have definitely used them a little bit better. But nonetheless, this base is more or less crippled. It is going to be 3 stars with some solid loot. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. Base number 2 is a little bit different in a couple of ways. 1, it's a Town Hall 8, and 2, we're taking a little bit of a different approach than the first one. So as you can see on this base, most of the splash damage is on the right side of the base, such as the mortars and the wizard towers, whereas a lot of the loot that I want to grab is here on the bottom left. So I'm going to be doing more or less a similar process of steps, but a little bit different in the fact that I'm really just going to be doing a smash and grab with the goblins. So I'm going to go ahead, put down the giants, and start wall breaking them in. And as soon as they get into that second layer, they're going to go ahead and walk into the defenses, and I'm going to go ahead and start the funnel with the wizards, get my king inside the base, and then put down some additional wizards, get them inside the base. So now that this first wave of defenses is down, I'm going to go ahead and start putting down a lot more of my goblins, so that way they can go ahead and take advantage of all these gold storages as well as that dark elixir inside the base. So I will be using a rage spell here, and the reason I'm using a rage on the giants is because I don't want them to spend time on the walls. That's going to be the downfall of you using this strategy, is maybe your giants get stuck on walls for too long and they are just getting hit by splash damage. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And I'm still doing the same thing that like I did in the last one. I'm putting down my goblins in spurts just to avoid them all dying at once or them all dying to one trap. So just putting them down in spurts, and they're doing their thing, getting a huge amount of loot. And this is going to end up not being a 3-star, but a solid amount of loot nonetheless. Alrighty guys, it's time for the fun stuff. In these live attacks, I'll be doing 1 attack with clan castle troops and the rest without them. So let's go ahead, see if we can find a solid base worth hitting. And honestly, this isn't a bad one off the rip. 1,000 dark elixir and some pretty solid loot. So let's go ahead and see how we want to go ahead and approach this one. All of the splash damage is in the middle of the base, which is a little bit annoying. But I think what we're going to go ahead and do is actually attack from the top. We're going to go for the 3 stars on this one just because a lot of the defenses are low leveled. So I'm going to go ahead and put the giants. I'm going to split the giants in 2 ways. And let's go ahead and wall break in. And just so I can make sure I get these splash damage buildings taken out early. I don't want to deal with them. And I'm going to go ahead and use the clan castle troops on the left side of the base. Help support the giants on the left side. And I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Help them get into the core. I'm going to go ahead and use a rage here. Get those early mortars taken out. And I'm going to go ahead and start sprinkling the goblins here on the top side. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting them on the left side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 2-finger job. Put them out evenly. And let's see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put a heal covering the giants and the goblins. And then I'm just keeping an eye on the left side. Okay, I need to go ahead and drop a heal there. Keep those giants and goblins alive. And then pretty soon, I'm going to go ahead and use the king ability. Yep, nice. So we have a ton of troops remaining. This should be a relatively easy 3 stars to finish up. And even though 3 stars isn't really the goal with this attack strategy, if you can get it, you can get it, but the ultimate goal is really just getting as much loot as possible. So that was a pretty clean attack overall. Not the biggest loot, but I'm really happy with the results. It's time for attack number 2. Let's go ahead, get it in, and see what we can come up against. Alrighty, we just found a pretty solid Town Hall 7 with a decent amount of loot. Looks like a pretty dead base. It looks like a lot of the gold and elixir is in the collectors themselves. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and test this base out. So I'm not even going to check the clan castle because just the nature of it's dead. I'm going to go ahead and attack from the top just so I can try to get to that core as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and wall break in. Alright. And then let me go ahead and do the next one. Let me go ahead and start putting down some of these wizards, helping them get in. I'm going to have to drop a heal relatively early. Oh no. This isn't going quite to plan, but it's all right. I just need to get it. I just need to get inside the core. The wall breakers aren't helping me out though. I'm gonna go ahead and stack a couple more. I'm gonna go ahead and rage this core. I just need them to get through that. Once they're through the core, it should be smooth sailing. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a heal that's gonna go ahead and cover up all of the troops, and I'm just waiting to be able to put down the goblins. Gonna go ahead and start dropping them in on the outsides of the base. Just making sure I can get some of this loot in there. And I just want them to go inside. Come on, guys. Alright, 9 goblins left. I'm going to go ahead and put them at the top there. And let me go ahead and rage up the king. Help him take out some of the walls. Get them through these buildings. I'm going to go ahead and drop these last 2 up top. See where they go. Looks like they're going to go to that storage. Alright, so the last remaining of that loot is more or less in these storage, or these collectors right here. So, final defenses remaining, it should be 3 stars. It's a little bit close, but I think with the wizards on the outside helping them take out the buildings, this should be a wrap here shortly. So, this is looking pretty good. All the loot is officially gone. And a lot of giants remaining. Yeah, this is going to be 3 stars for sure. Let's go ahead and clean this up. That was some pretty solid loot overall, over 300k gold and elixir. Really happy about this one. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's see if we can make this our biggest attack yet. And honestly, I'm kind of down to try something new here. Maybe if we find a Town Hall 9 that just has a ton of loot and maybe we just want to go for it, I'm willing to try something new here. Alrighty guys, I think I found our target of what I want to go ahead and hit. It's a decently leveled Town Hall 8. And definitely not going to be the easiest base, but nonetheless, I think we can smash into the core. I really just want to get that Dark Elixir. If I can max out on Dark Elixir, that would be huge. Let's go ahead and enter from the top. I'm going to spread out the giants just a tad, minimize the splash as much as possible. Going to go ahead and drop the wall breakers in, get them inside that base. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and start dropping down some of the wizards to funnel. And I need to start using these wall breakers. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and drop an early heal. I didn't get all of them, which is unfortunate. But, alright, I'm going to go ahead and send in the next wave of wall breakers with a follow-up wizard just to go ahead and get them in. Awesome. So we're looking pretty good so far. I'm going to go ahead and start dropping in some of the goblins. because I want them to get into the core, so that way they can hopefully try to get to this this tower right here. Gonna go ahead and drop a rage here, get them through that wall, and let me see if I need to drop a heal spell. Yep, I'm gonna need to, just to make sure that they can get through those buildings. And let me go ahead and drop the next set of goblins here at the bottom. And let's see what we're rocking with. So a lot of our troops are struggling on health, but we've got a solid amount of loot so far. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the last of that goblins down there at the corner. And I'm curious to see what the loot totals of this raid is going to be, because I feel like it's going to be a little bit more impressive than I actually know of. So that is all the troops officially gone, and that's some solid loot right there for a Town Hall 8 hit plus 2.4k elixir. Not bad at all. I'm really happy with how this video turned out, and just the raids we were able to get. If you guys did enjoy, maybe you learned something, or if you just enjoyed the content overall, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.